You're welcome back to the morning show here on the Rice News. The All Progressives Congress looks like it is ready to galvanize all forces at its disposal in the bid to not just retain power at the federal level, but make inroads into new electoral territories as well. In this direction, Delta State appears to hold a special attraction for the party, and it is evident that APC has gradually built up a formidable campaign structure with strategic connections around the state under the guardianship of Deputy Senate President Omo-Agege. Joining us now to speak about all of this is Eyengho, who is a member of APC's Presidential Campaign Council and the party's Delta State Governorship Campaign Council Deputy Director, I believe. As a key stakeholder in Nigeria's film industry, he will also tell us how celebrities in the creative industries can play a role in shaping the direction of the next general election. Good morning, Comrade Eyengho. Good to have you join us here.
Thank you, Steve.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me here.
All right.
Good morning to all the team.
Okay, so let's start from what is happening in your state, Delta State, which ordinarily is also a G state, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which ordinarily is a PDP state. But here we are, your good self, campaigning for Omo-Agege, who's trying to, take over power in Delta. One, people are saying that we're not hearing, we can't see evidence of seriousness beyond what is being read on social media and newspapers. Could it be that the presidential candidates are overshadowing the governorship candidates? That's one. And then two, there are key people in this race, not just the PDP candidate, Oberewore, the Speaker of the House of Assembly. I think Great Ogboru is running on Abga, former Minister Gbagi for SDP, and a whole load of other people. What are your man's chances, and how are you going to snatch Delta away from the PDP?
Well, thank you very much. The chances of His Excellency Senator Omo-Agege, who is the Deputy President of the Senate, his chances to become the next governor of Delta State are very bright. And this is not just mouthing it, As a senator representing the Delta Central Senatorial District in Delta State, in the Senate, no part of that senatorial district he has not touched in terms of adding value.
That's Delta Central?
Delta Central Senatorial District, predominantly Urobo ethnic group.
Okay.
No part of that senatorial district he has not touched in terms of projects. No part. So, in fact, when he becomes the governor, I say when, not if, when he becomes the governor, he's not, he has done practically about 80 to 90% of what he should do in Delta Central. So he's just going to concentrate on Delta South and Delta North. You understand? So, and in your intro, you said you're not seeing much. You may be our presidential candidate, who is also the next president of this country, come 2023, by the special grace of God, is overshadowing maybe, I don't think it's endemic to Delta State. If you watch, the media seem to concentrate more on the presidential candidate for obvious reasons. And so it's not as if it's Delta. But as we speak, His Excellency Senator Omo-Agege is doing what you call strategic engagement from units to wards, from wards to LGA. It's been on the move. We flagged it off about 2 weeks ago, where he's going not just to the local government area, but to the units and the wards. And not just the upland, like most of these gubernatorial candidates do. Delta is predominantly riverine. Nobody goes there. Nobody really cares, because it takes you like 2 hours on high sea to get some of these with very high waves. It takes people with hearts to go there, apart from those who are from there. But he's been there. I think he's done Warri South, he's done Warri Southwest. He's coming to my community on Tuesday. I'll be there. That's Borodo, where the how do I call it, the chicken that laid the golden egg in terms of oil and gas. This country, that's where you have the Baramatu axis too. He's going to tour that place on Tuesday. All that axis. So that is the kind of engagement he's doing, going about preaching his program which we call edge to band. That's edge means employment and empowerment. The D stands for development, general development. The G stands for good governance, and then the E stands for sustaining peace and security. Band, we say edge to band. Band means building a new Delta state, because we have to rebuild Delta state, because there is even nothing on ground. The 16 years of 24 years, because no other
it has been PDP
no other party has ruled that state. But it's been 24 years of disaster, misrule, absolute. You cannot point to any project. But it was part of
PDP too. At the
yes, but people born again, for the Christians, people born again and turn a new leaf. He's now seen the light. He has come to the Progressive Party, right? And that is why he is doing edge to band, because you cannot. It's not a matter of starting. Government is a continuum. Take over and start from there. Delta State needs to be rebuilt completely, and that's what Senator Omo-Agege is doing with this program.
Yeah, I like the fact that you have highlighted this, his project Edge to Bound. Last week, he talked about the fact, or he promised to ensure that the Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, with this DESOPADEC, right, meet their mandate in developing the oil-bearing communities in Delta State. As you know, there's been all of these reports that we are seeing lately about, the bunkering and marginalization in Delta State. What will he do differently? Or would like for you to highlight it within this Edge to Bound?
Well, what he would do differently in terms of DESOPADEC, because presently DESOPADEC is dead. It's dead under Governor Okowa. Absolutely dead. Before then, the previous government, it was sleeping. Then the next one, it was yawning. But now it's dead completely. And so what he's going to do, what Senator Omo-Agege will do, is to resurrect the dead DESOPADEC. And this is a statement of fact. DESOPADEC, at least when maybe Udwan was there, when you can see some. That's why I say maybe under Iburi, it was sleeping, under Udwan, yawning, but they were still alive somehow. But now it's completely dead, and Governor Okowa has pocketed it. So Senator Omo-Agege is to bring it back to life, so that it will begin to execute its mandate. It's an interventionist agency, just like you have at the national level, NDDC. Yeah. It's the same thing. They should point to one program, DESOPADEC, as executed, planned and executed in Delta State. None. People are just there, collecting sit-at-home salary and all of that. Nothing. So it has not intervened in as a development agency. And Senator Omo-Agege is going to turn that around and make sure, because part of the EDGE program is law and order. An agency is set up to implement certain programs. That is not being done under Okowa this past 8 years. Everything is concentrated in his hometown in Owa. Moved everything to the decentralized, killed Warri completely. Warri used to be the hub of Delta State and largely part of Niger Delta. Everything in Warri is dead. Everything he met on ground that was alive. The stadium where hosted major FIFA tournaments. Primary school pupils cannot even play football there. If it rains, it's like a swimming pool. So everything, no nightlife, nothing. And it's the same in other major cities.
I thought Asaba used to be jumpy.
Asaba, there is nothing in Asaba. He has moved everything to Owa, his own community. So all the semblance of development is there. Asaba people are not happy with him.
This is a generalized statement.
Yes.
I mean, I'd like for you to actually pinpoint what you're talking about. Because if you're talking about the stadium being swamped, is that attributed to climate change or the recent flooding? I mean, you can't I am from Delta State and I was there recently. I wouldn't agree with you on most of the points that you just raised. Yes.
When last time you been to the stadium?
I saw that there was a renovation going on.
The renovation you are seeing there is during this political campaign. We campaigned there. We painted everywhere. We did everything
So
ourselves.
you did it, not
Not
for
them.
APC.
Yeah, yes, because we don't want to host our rally in a dungeon, in a pig hole. So most people that go there, after you see all the decoration and everything, it's not done by Delta State government. It's done by the people who hired the place to use. You have to decorate, you have to paint, if you have to. Before then and after all this campaign, you see that place is dead. I mean, that's why
the football club for the state plays?
No, under this Okowa, no club, no tournament. I say primary school pupil, you cannot play there.
All
no
right.
swimming pool there, nothing. This is a statement of facts. Just like I talked about the Sopadek. Ask any Deltan, the Sopadek, you are a Deltan. The Sopadek is dead. As in
Okay, Mr.
D-E-A-D.
Eyengho, I'm still going to piggyback on
Yeah.
on the question that Oji posed, because we've seen Senator Omo-Agege launch a fierce campaign against the administration of Governor Okowa, especially around the issue of a lack of accountability to the people of Delta. Could you speak more in detail around it? And more importantly, what have the people of Delta done to hold him accountable all this time?
Well, these people, they hide under immunity. You understand? If not, some of them should be languishing in jail by now. But they can't be sued. They can't be sued. While being governor, they can't be prosecuted and all of that. Let's start from the immediate. Through their nemesis, the PDP, nemesis, Governor Wike exposed the recent money that was paid through this 13%.
Yes.
To the Sopadek. Delta got the highest. We never knew until Wike spilled the bean. You understand? And when, I think one or two other governors came out after Governor Wike's expose, you understand, to give account and all of that, Governor Okowa could not, and I was ashamed at his defenseless defense. We could not account for a Delta, over 250 billion. As we speak, Delta State is in debt of trillions under Governor Okowa. These are debts I don't think our grandchildren will be able to pay back. You understand? So, and that's why it's very apt for Omo-Agege to say, look, we have to build a new Delta. There's nothing to take over from Okowa. And the level of anger against Governor Okowa in Delta State is to the advantage of Senator Omo-Agege, because he's seen today as the modern day Judas and the modern day Peter, the biblical Peter. And why did I say so? Not just in Delta State, even all the South governors, because he betrayed them on this power shift presidency. He hosted the first meeting. He hosted a sequel meeting. But after everything, he used it to go and negotiate the slot of vice president under Atiku and threw away the Southern resolution which he hosted. The inaugural meeting was hosted in Asaba by him.
But
so he's seen now as the modern day Judas Iscariot, not just by Deltans, but by the entire South. He's seen as Peter, who out of fear denied Jesus Christ. Even before cock crowed twice.
Because my concern is that they sound like claims.
Yeah.
Of course, you're Deltan, and of course there are people who can relate to this. But what active steps have been taken by Deltans to hold Governor Okowa, and not just him, let's not just single him out, the PDP, to accountability?
Well, people are doing that. Part of it is what I'm doing here. By exposing, by laying the fact by whatever means. People are doing that every day. It's not all the time that state government gets the national media attention, if you will. Everybody seems to concentrate on the presidency, but we're doing it. We are the leading opposition in Delta State today. That's APC. Are the leading opposition, and we're putting him on his toes. Some people have even instituted some cases and all of that in court. You can't do more than that. You can't take laws into your hands, you understand? You have to only expose and educate, inform the public, Deltans in particular, like, look, this is what is happening, and that's what we did with the recent manna that fell from heaven through the 13% money that was paid to him, over 250 billion, and nothing is saying. That's why I describe it as a defenseless defense. But the fact is that there is nothing on ground. Deltans are so angry with him, they can't wait to see his back. And for distinguished Senator Omo-Agege to come in, because he has track record. He has demonstrated what he can do by in Delta Central alone.
All right, Comrade Alex, two questions from me. First is that in trying to take back Delta for APC, you'll be squaring up against the owners of Delta, the Delta politics. You have to contend with two ex-governors, Dr. Uduaghan, and of course James Ibori, who is considered to be like the like the godfather of Delta politics. How prepared politically is the Omo-Agege machinery to go against that formidable structure in Delta? And two, which is the corollary to the first one, is why do you think that Deltans, in spite of what you have said about Okowa being a betrayer, in quotes, according to you, why do you think that they will want to queue behind a Yoruba and a Kanuri man at the federal? Because they have an Okowa, a son of the soil, going forward as a potential vice president, if you know what I mean, under PDP that they are used to. Because the argument they will build is that ordinarily, in having the presidency come to the south, they probably were thinking in terms of southeast. And what is southeast if it is not about the Igbo identity? And Dr. Okowa happens to be Igbo. Am I correct, Oji? In a way. In a way.
He says he's Igbo.
Okay.
I am not Ifeanyi Okowa.
But a lot of
go with what he says.
Exactly.
We go with what he says.
Okay, so I'm saying that this is an Igbo man from Delta State. That's like the next best thing that the Southeast and South can get. Why should they throw that away and queue behind a Yoruba man from Lagos and a Kanuri man from Borno? Because whoever wins on February the 25th will have an effect on who becomes, for the governorship candidate on March the 11th. Those will be the factors that your man will have to confront with.
Let me take your first question first. You said, we're standing against very formidable forces, former governors and all of that, who are in PDP. First and foremost, PDP is in Delta State, is in tatters as we speak. We didn't take them to court. A PDP person took, the in the first place, and then Supreme Court ruled. They are back to court because Supreme Court ruled, not because there is no merit in the case. They just say it's a matter of process. They didn't follow the process. They have gone back to court, the same PDP, and followed the process. That matter is live in court as we speak. It's live. It's like an albatross on Okowa and Sheriff's neck. You understand? So PDP is in tatters in Delta State. All these rallies they are doing. Have you seen ex-governor James Ibori there? Have you seen Senator James Manager there? Have you seen his deputy governor there? His own, Okowa's deputy governor, in any of this rally? Which other big names have you seen? Which other big names other than his cronies that he has pocketed and intimidated, beat them to line? So PDP is in tatters completely. And so and we are taking advantage of a lot of them. A lot of PDP big wigs have crossed over to APC as we speak across the 3 senatorial districts. So, what more do you need to tell you that all is not well in PDP and all is good and fine in APC? Then to your second question, the best that can happen, first, I have told you the way we see, not just in Delta alone, I'm saying South-South, a betrayer is a betrayer. That is the feeling out there that you betrayed us. We wanted presidency, not vice president. It is president we want. You hosted the first meeting. You hosted the sequel meeting. After everything, you went to strike a deal with Atiku, and for a piece of porridge, as it was. That's not what South wants. That's not what Deltans want. But for us, the icing on the cake for us is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu becoming the president. Winning that election on February 25th, 2023, because Asiwaju is our in-law in Niger Delta. He's our in-law in Delta State. His wife is Shekiri, is Urobo. So his wife is on ground. If Asiwaju is there, he's our in-law, and he knows, in Shekiri. And let me speak in Shekiri. I will try to translate it. Inna onwe shoke taibi. That's an in-law.
Oh, do you understand?
Yeah, an in-law. Yeah, an in-law. It means an in-law is a third member of the family. It's an integral part of the family. So we see Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as an Shekiri man, as an Urobo man, as a Delta man, as a Niger Delta man. He's there. The first lady is a Niger Delta woman. It's a Delta woman.
Asiwaju is a city boy. Every city can claim him.
So we are claiming him by right. We are not claiming he's our in-law.
Right.
He's married to our daughter, and our daughter will be there as first lady. Right. All the goodies from Abuja, presidency, everything, Asiwaju will bring it to us, and he has promised most of this thing. He said he's going to bring.
Do you have a question?
No, let me just make this point. Let me just make this point.
Yeah.
Asiwaju has made some of those promises. Things PDP government have abandoned in Delta State. All the ports, none is working. The gas revolution in Industrial Park.
I think it is important at this point.
Yeah, so he has made promises.
I think it is important at this point for the APC to focus more on issue-based campaigns.
Which is what we're doing.
Only today in the papers, Governor Okowa has directed also to Omo-Agege to just focus on issue-based campaigns instead of casting aspersions on him, as you have just done today on the morning.
It's not his.
I think
that's
not his.
All right. We unfortunately have come to the end of the It needs to be real quick.
Just a moment, Alex, 1 second.
The spokesman, Charles does worse.
Hold on, just a moment.
To APC.
We've totally run out of time. But I'm just
I'll come in the
indulgence of the producer, because we also introduce you as a filmmaker.
Correct.
And just a quick one, if you can answer that in maybe a few seconds.
Okay.
One of the promoters of your candidate, Asiwaju, who is a filmmaker and an actor, Omo-Agege. What did they call him again? Eyengho. Did something for the candidacy of the president, where he appeared, naked at the beach, making supplications for the candidate. The association to which he belongs, Tampan, has set up an inquiry with the possibility of, having a disciplinary action against him. I know that you're a big supporter of Mopicon. Mopicon for the film industry will be the umbrella council. If Mopicon had taken off, and you have a situation like what Omo-Agege did as an actor and as a filmmaker, what will be your position, and how do you see Tampan trying to say that this is unacceptable?
Okay, for me, I followed up on that thing, and I think Tampan should tread with caution, because Omo-Agege did not do it in the name of Nollywood. He did not do it with the name of Tampan. He did it as Omo-Agege. He has his right to support whoever he wants to support. If he did it in the name of Tampan, then we won't be having this conversation. Then he will face a disciplinary committee. And that's why I will advise Tampan to tread with caution. He has fundamental human rights, and part of it is to support any political candidate of his choice, which he has done in a way he deems fit. So Tampan and Nollywood General should tread with caution on this matter, so as not to trample on his fundamental human rights.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, Comrade Alex Eyengho. Thank you for being with us this morning.
My pleasure.